If you've been a victim of a crime here in the United States and you reported this crime to local police and have potentially assisted the local district attorney to put away these criminals, then you may be eligible for a U visa. That is a visa for victims of a crime here in the United States that ultimately allows you to work, live, and stay in the United States. In order to qualify for this particular type of visa, you must be a victim of a crime, typically a crime involving physical assault or battery, or threat to physical assault or battery, including such as being held up at gunpoint. Two, that you report this crime to the police immediately, not a day later, not a week later, not a month later, but immediately. And three, you assist the district attorney in helping put away the criminals. That is, you be asked to testify more often than not. The important thing about all this entire process is that we will need to obtain a certification from the police or from district attorney saying that you are a victim of a crime and you did assist local law enforcement in helping stop the criminals from getting away with the crime. There are many benefits for applying for this particular type of visa. First of all, you can obtain a work permit. The reason is because U visas do not get approved very quickly. In fact, the matter takes years. So in order to allow an individual to live and work here, you can obtain a work permit, which allows you to get a social security number, which then allows you to get a driver's license, which then allows you to build up credit history, which is important when it comes to buying items such as homes or cars. In addition, if you maintain a clean history while you have the U visa, you can then apply for the green card 3 years later. One of the also great benefits of this particular visa is that if your son or daughter is under age 21 and is a victim of a crime, you as a parent can obtain the U visa at the same time as your child does. Similarly, if your spouse is the victim of a crime, you as the spouse can obtain the U visa as well as any children under age 21. And another great benefit of this visa is that it fixes the immigration status of you and your family. That is, if you happen to cross over the US without inspection or overstayed your visa, your immigration status itself can be corrected so that you become eligible for the adjustment into a green card in the future. So the fact of the matter is there are lots of great benefits, and it makes no sense to pass up an opportunity to fix your status, get a work authorization, and ultimately get a green card by going through this process. One of the amazing things about the U visa certification process is that you can apply at any point in time, so long as you were the victim of a crime and did report it to the police. That is, whether the crime occurred a day later, a year later, 5 years later, you can still apply for the U visa certification, which is necessary for you to ultimately obtain the U visa. Now, crimes that fall under this particular type of visa vary. You can be a grocery store clerk and be held up at gunpoint. That counts. If you are the victim of assault because you are a soccer mom, for instance, and you get into an argument with another soccer mom and they slap you, that's considered assault. That still qualifies for the U visa. If at the same time, if you are a victim of stalking, whether you're a man or a woman, and you can prove to some extent that somebody is stalking you and you report that crime to the police, you may be able to qualify for the U visa. Same thing when it comes to domestic violence. If you're not married to your partner, but you are a victim of domestic violence and you've reported it to police, you may also be eligible to apply for the U visa. The fact of the matter is the U visa has many different categories. And so unless you go to a trained professional who knows the types of questions to ask and knows what type of crimes may apply, you may be missing out on an opportunity to apply for the U visa. Google Law University makes it seem that the U visa is simple, straightforward, and anybody can do it. But the truth is, when it comes to immigration, details matter. It's not hard to get an immigration application rejected or denied. It's certainly true when it comes to U visa. If you try to do this on your own, you won't find out that the U visa application is denied until years later. However, if you hire a trained professional who's done this hundreds of times with much success, you'll know that you're actually getting your money's worth. You'll know whether or not you have a case, and you'll know that your case will be followed with on a continuous basis so that you have a reasonable expectation as to whether or not your application will be approved and potentially getting a green card 3 years later. So if you're interested in talking to a trained professional such as ourselves, please give us a call. We'd be happy to sit down with you, talk to you about your issue, talk to you about the crime, talk to you about your options, and lay out a strategy for you that fits you and your needs. So please give us a call.